All right, so we are close to wrapping up MedTech Vision. It's been an unbelievable day, and here are three of the folks that actually made it happen. I wanted to make sure that we got their perspective on how the day went. So let's start with you, Lisa. Carmel.
Oh, thank you. You know, I have to say I was incredibly inspired over and over again from the patient keynote, Melissa, and founders, Amy, the tribute, setting the tone for the day. And I think what was so amazing is the shared the community that you felt, even though we haven't all met in person for 3 years. And it was an amazing day.
Did it just like pick up where it left off? Like I saw people like running and hugging and it was like friends as opposed to workmates. Well, I guess it can be both. Was it like that for you?
Yes, but I think what's amazing is there were so many new people, and we made a point of setting goals and telling everyone they had to meet new people, and it's 3 specifically. And thanks to Stephanie, yeah. And they did, and I think everyone made a point of finding new people, new faces, different people, different faces, and really connecting. And it you can feel it, you can hear it.
No, everybody is as energized at any conference in 20 years that I've ever been to. So, Steph, you were obviously a big part of how this all came about. Was it what you expected?
It was even better. You know, I think in the lead up to an event, you're very concerned about like the details and the logistics and are you on time? But just like the feeling in the room, the feedback from the breaks, and the sense of community that was built here today is just going to have such a lasting impact. And so it really makes it all worthwhile.
So what would you tell somebody who missed it and say, look, here's what happened and here's why I want to see you next year?
You know, I think it was another amazing event, and we don't focus, you know, we've talked before, this is not like a pink wash everything, talk about women's issues conference. This is really important topics to our industry. And so if you missed it, you missed out on some great conversations. I think we'll probably have it online. Definitely watch it because I think there's so much to learn from the women in this room to help advance both women in our industry and help make things better for patients.
It did that and so much more. I mean, people were moved to tears in this, and I've never, in 20 keynote speeches, I've never heard that. We just interviewed Melissa before, and we were all like just blown away. So for you, when you tell that BlackBerry story, and now you're here, is this meeting your expectations? I know you. Your expectations are always through the roof.
You know, it's funny. Like, I have to say, it surprises me every year how great it is. And I don't know why I get surprised. And granted, we've had sort of a 3-year hiatus for being in person and the kind of energy you hear in the background, and we all feel, you felt. But it's like, you go to one, you go, oh, we can't beat that. And so next year it's going to be kind of a letdown. And then that next year is even better. And then the next year is even better. And then this year was even better. And it's just, I'm like, my brain can't process how that's possible, except for if you surround yourself with the best people, because this is really a pass the torch moment. And we have now passed the torch several times. And every time, people have risen to the challenge and then surpassed that. And so it's so exciting. And I have to say, like, it makes my heart sing to be able to see people execute better than anything I was going to execute, and to create those opportunities and see them do it. So, like, these guys are awesome. And I'm just so thrilled, and I got a lot. I cried at the beginning and the end. Like, I'm not going to lie. And it was just wonderful. So I couldn't.
She sets the bar.
I know. The leadership between Deb and Amy have been astounding to this point, to get it to this level, starting from an annoyed conversation at a table. And so the one thing that I want to leave you with is what happens tomorrow and next week and next month. Like, how do you take this incredible feeling of positivity and say, all right, now actionable, we're going to do this?
Oh, I've got my list of people I'm following up with, because there were new faces in the room, people that I didn't know, and there was also people I haven't seen for a while. And I've got this list already. I reached out while they were talking to LinkedIn and connected to them. And then it's going to be okay, here are my follow-ups. These are the people I'm going to talk to. talk about the topics that were on here, like where their expertise is, because I've got, more questions. You can't if I had the microphone afterwards with all the questions, I would have taken all the questions. And so like that's for me what happens next. And then it's also making connections. So like as I have those conversations, I connect them with other people that I know within the MedtechWOMEN community and beyond, and then it just gets stronger and better. So that's how I take it.
I think next year the challenge is to make the digital experience even better, more interactive. And this was our first year of adding a hybrid and we had more people, I think, online than in person or as much. But I think that'll be the next thing too, is so we can make the access to it even more expansive.
This is what we talked about in the beginning, was watch parties and having people all grouped together and do that. And I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, what Lisa forgot to tell you is she's actually going on vacation next week. But for me, one of the things that is also really impactful, Melissa talked about the work she's doing as our patient keynote. And there are so many people who want to hear more from her story and more from other patients' story. And so my goal is really to work with Melissa to figure out how do we continue to magnify her voice, magnify her story, and use our community to do that, because I think people are really interested. We're all here because the patient is at the center of what we do, and here's a really good way to magnify a patient's story. So using our network to really magnify her story and help her word get out there.
Extraordinary experience. I think everyone here has changed. And the fact that you're going to plan to do it again next year is just this phenomenal undertaking, and I hope we're a part of it. I certainly plan to be.
You are an amazing
Thank
partner.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us involved. Couldn't ask for better partners. All right, guys. Go have fun.
All right.